Okay, well today I'm going to do another boil. It's March 5th, feels like winter's hit again. It's probably about -5, -10 out this morning, a little chilly. Anyways, I've got a few modifications I kind of made for my firebox this morning, just to try to keep the heat in. I'll show you that quickly here and then I'll get started. So I lined inside here with some fire bricks as the heat was pounding out the back side and wasting heat. So I'm going to try that today, see if that helps out any. And I lined up some bricks here for my first day just to keep the heat inside. And so far it seems to be working quite well. So I'm going to get the fire going. So here we go, I've got my frozen sap in there that I've had stored in the snow overnight for the past few days. So it's coming along nicely, melting slowly. Hopefully next 10-15 minutes it'll be melted. And then I'll go collect some more sap. So I'm going to take my temperature reading right now to see where I'm sitting at. Right now the sap's getting a nice golden amber color, which is a good sign, means it's getting close to the point where you want to take it off. I think I have about half an hour left before I can pull it off. Still trying to get it boiled down. I like to boil it down to about 102 degrees Celsius before I take it inside, just to get as much water off. It's nothing worse than taking it inside and having a lot of moisture boiling off, and then you're doing your mom's place, you peel the wallpaper off and she's not happy. So make sure you're getting most of the water off outside. So it's reading about 99 degrees, almost 100 degrees Celsius when I'm in the boiling spot. When it's not in the boiling spot, it's a bit cooler. So we have a ways to go still. Well, I think we're starting to get pretty close here now. Just gonna do another temperature check, see what we're at. You start to hear that the sap is getting thicker, the bubbles are starting to get a little bit more noisy as they boil. So still about close to 100 degrees still. I added a bit more frozen sap that I found around my pails this morning, so it's probably slowed the process down a wee bit. So here I am now, I've got it boiling on the stove. It's pretty close to the syrup state. The thermometer is 2 degrees off. I've tried to calibrate it, so I'm just going to go up to 106 degrees Celsius, and I've been testing it with Brix meter here. So we're getting pretty close. Should be a few more minutes. I'm going to also, on the top here, you got a bit of the impurities here too. So I like to skim some of that off before I pour it through the filter. Just clean it up a wee bit, just to make sure everything's out of it. And so what I'll do now, I'll do a little test with the Brix meter and I'll show you how that's done. Okay, so here I am. I'm going to do a quick test of the sugar content here quickly, the Brix meter. So I just fill up my little container here. Have to make sure that the syrup's at boiling point as well. So I drop that on. So I want it to be up to this red line here at 60. So it's reading about 56 or so. So we'll just let that boil for a few more minutes, and then we'll do another test. This one I'll turn down a bit. So this one I'll measure as well quickly, just to see what it's sitting at. Two different pots going here. So this should give me about 8 liters of syrup, roughly. That's what it gave me last time when I had these 2 pots. Just a bit more here. So this one's pretty close as well. So we'll let these boil for another 5 minutes and we'll test it again. And as well, as I was saying before, you got to make sure you don't have too much water content in it. You want to boil most of it outside. If not, you can peel the wallpaper off the ceiling or wherever you have wallpaper in place. Okay, we're going to do another quick measure here. Let's see where we're sitting at. Should be pretty close to the 60 Brix that we want it to be at. So this one here, kind of hard to see, but it's pretty close. I'm probably going to give it another few minutes, and then this one will be ready. It's about 1 line off, and this one here, I think this one should be pretty much ready here now. I'm just going to double check just to be on the safe side here. Oh, this one's pretty far off, so I've got another few lines to go, so we'll let this one boil away a bit. Normally what I do, if one's almost ready, I'll shut it off until the other pot's ready, and then I'll turn them back on and get them ready at the same point. Okay, they're both reading at the 60 Brix now, so it's time to pull them off. I'll see if I can get a little close up here of it. So there it is, right at the red line. So it's ready to come off. When I drain it off the pan there, I usually use this juice bag and a paper bag just to get the first sediments, and if there's any ash or whatnot that falls in, it cleans it out quite nicely. And when I bring it inside, I'll use my big pot over here. That's the one that I usually use, and I have one other one. I have an over excessive sap to boil with. As well, what's really handy is, before I pull it off, I'll use this digital thermometer to get the temperature to 102 degrees Celsius, as you want the sap to be 104 degrees Celsius to finish off with. And then as well, I've got my Brix meter, so this tells you the sugar content, and you want it to be at 60. And then this is your little container that you put the sap in, or the syrup at that point in time, and you drop this in, and when it gets to the 60 Brix line, then it is ready. So once we get that in, I'll show you guys that process. And then once it all cools down, then I got these little bottles. I do 500 milliliter bottles, as well as 1 liter bottles, to keep for myself, or I sell them to some friends. So that's pretty much my process for that. As well, I've got the felt bag here. So this is what you do for your final strain. It just gets out all the rest of there's some sand grains that are actually in the sap that come up through the roots into the trees. So what I do, I end up using about 4 or 5 of these because I want to make sure it's really clean. And then I drop it in the felt bag here, I use this as my stand here, and I just pour the sap through and let it drain through. And then I'll show you that process once I get to that point. Okay, so for this filtering process, I use 4 of the paper cones plus the felt cone, and then I just drain it through. I like to use the paper cones. It just helps preserve the felt cone longer. The felt cone filter has about 100-liter life on it from what I've read and heard. So I think by doing this I can probably extend it a wee bit because there's still quite a bit of impurities and dirt in it, and ashes from the boiling process. So I like to try to get in as quickly as possible because I find that near the end, once you get most of it in, it starts slowing down filtering. So there's the first pot. I'll grab the other pot and get it through. My bowl is usually not big enough, so I've got the separate bowl on the side there that I will ladle some more syrup into that other bowl so I have room to get this all through. So that's more than I normally put in at once, but that's the process. So here it is, just still straining away. Probably take a good 20 minutes, I'd say, for it to come through. But here's it, nice golden color. And I will probably let this cool for another half hour or so before I bottle it up. Let's see if we can get. It's gonna be a nice golden color there, nice amber. Okay, well here I am back to bottle the maple syrup. So I've got 2 container sizes. I've got the 1 liter ones and the 500 mils. You need glass ones as well, but sometimes my friends want me to ship them out to the West Coast. So plastic is much easier to ship than glass, and that's how I do it. So here we go. We just fill up the 1 liter one here quickly, just to show you my process. I've already had a few tablespoons of it today, and it's amazing. It's a nice beautiful amber color today. It's about a medium syrup. You've got your light, you got your medium, you've got your dark, your amber. There you go, that one is topped up. So that's my process for doing syrup from start to finish. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more from me, hit the subscribe button. I'll be posting more hopefully soon of some garden stuff of my seeds I've started planting. And yeah, all I need to do after this is cap this off and wipe the bottles down, and we're good to go.